28 February 1909. The Gulf War was codenamed Desert Storm. The United States and more than 30 allies in Iraq. After more than 200 days, it was officially over. It's not just the world's first major conflict since the end of the Cold War. It's also the first battlefield that's marked success of one of the super strategic bombers, strongest bar in the world, B-1B Lancer, but recently the U.S. Air Force gave him a ride. This soldier officially goes into storage, even though it's got a range of over 9,000 kilometers. Carry 56 T-bombs and ammunition. It can attack any AI and anywhere. So why did the Pentagon decide to grade B-1B Lancer? Even though this is an arbitration plane, the world's largest and heaviest bomb, it's all going to be deciphered by military knowledge on the way. Follow the history of today. Rockwell B, a Lancer. It's a strategic bomber. To Rockwell International, Boeing built it in the early 70s. Objectives of the program was to develop a high-speed bomber similar B-8 Hustler and capable of carrying a payload of weapons like B-2. Status Fortress program B-1 was started in the 60s, but it was delayed by the birth of the Bomber Medium-Range Strategy F-111. However, when President Richard Nixon took office, he decided to reduce the number of Fs one by one because they don't have the range and the flexibility. Then Program B is restarted. The first version is B-A, designed in the mid-10s, a ripe 70 to meet the needs of the U.S. Air Force, about a nuclear bomber specialized in operating at high altitude and reach speeds of over 2,500 kilometers per hour. However, there are only 4. BAA was built before U.S. President Jimmy Carter canceled the project in June, a 977. But by May 15th, September 8th, it was restarted by order of President Ronald Reagan with a series of major changes, and the designs that came out during this time called the Cavalry B-1B Lancer. It gets dark. Good for air intrusion at low altitude. At the same time, apply many improvements to reduce the reflection area. The plane's radar is no longer at the same speed of 2,500 kilometers per hour. As before that, it can only fly at a maximum speed of 1,100 kilometers per hour at altitude below 150 meters, but it's possible to survive. Many times higher than BA. There are 100 Bs in total produced in stages 198, BA to 198, May 15, 986, the first one to be officially commissioned in the United States. Since then, it's become an authoritative strategic bomber, America's largest weapon. When the length is 4.4.5 meters, 10.4 meters high, and has a hollow volume of up to 87.1 tons. Aircraft application of wing flapping mechanism, improved takeoff and landing capability, and reduced drag when flying at low altitude. The wingspan of B-1B is 42 meters wide in the spreading state, and 24 meters when retracting. Engineers equipped it with 4 GRE jet engines, a 01 GRE, a 02 to provide thrust, allowing it to reach a maximum speed of 1,340 kilometers per hour at an altitude of 12,000 meters, or 1,100 kilometers per hour. When 150 meters off the ground, its maximum range has reached 9,400 kilometers. However, you should note that this number will be reduced to 5,545 kilometers if carrying maximum weapon load, the Bs. B was created to replace the bomber roll strategy of flying Fortress B, Year 2 Fortress State on December 19, 1998, 7 years after the last shots of the Gulf War. The first time where the United States is once again on a mission to fight in the sky Iraq on the first combat mission of B-1B Lancer. After 10 years of development, he restarted and sat on the bench for another 13 years. He finally had a chance to show off his skills. 17th of December 1909, 8-2, B-1B crossed the Iraqi border. They were warned about 3 battles, air defense along the flight path. The bullets of the Iraqi anti-aircraft guns will tear through the sky in an attempt to shoot down B-1B over their heads when the bombers reach the target. The bomb bay door was quickly opened. 10 bombs weighing 225 kilograms were dropped on the target before the plane turns its wings to fly home. Must come a day later. The pilots knew that their mission had been successful. It's the beginning of a new era of a B Lancer. It's not just a fighter, it's also the foundation to be able to secure, get more functions than its original purpose was a nuclear attack. After the Strategic Offensive Arms Reduction Treaty, it means START 1, signed in the year 1905. Then all the Bs, this B is all denuclearized. This process started more than 25 years ago. But many countries and newspapers around the world I still think of this engineer site as a nuclear bomber. Its old nuclear role has kept it out of the picture during the first Gulf War, but eliminating the possibility of a nuclear attack. That's what made B-1B a conventional bomber. The addition of external targeting sensors by Lockheed Martin production has soon allowed it to use a new generation of smart bombs. It's not like free-fall bombs that B-1B threw down for the first time, Iraq in Operation Desert Storm. The laser can now deliver precision-guided bombs. The ability to carry fuel and weapons is impressive. That made him a hero in combat missions from Iraq to Syria, with what can be done. Gold in the target area for hours. B-1B will take on the task of providing accurate information, real-time, for the center commanders and soldiers on the ground. technological improvements that allow throw capable of attack through the target indication system with lasers of infantry on the ground, or throw smart bombs that hit the target with an error of just a few meters, a combination of reconnaissance and precision strike. It helped the plane. It's quickly becoming a favorite in the missions. Does the program support? In fact, the United States succeeded in making cavalry B-1B. It's become one of the most powerful weapons in the world when there's a global attack capability. Upgrade package increases the number of weapons hanging points under the wings from 6 to 8 weapons. Bay inside the fuselage also be extended from 4.5 meters up, 6.8 meters combined with the rotary drive rack. Capable of carrying 24 missiles in the cabin up to 40 missiles with the new hanging tower that they're designing. In 2018, even Boeing also unveiled an upgrade package with the turret. Can open retractable to turn B-1B from a bomber into artillery analogous role of AC-30U, although B-1B throw it's acting as a strategic bomber force and the U.S. nuclear deterrent. But the reality is that over the years, these squadrons of bombers most have halted combat missions. Technical maintenance is too expensive. Problems with the technical condition. His art has been around for a long time. It's not new. A long time ago, the corner admitted that continuous support operations for B-bombers, a laser in the last 25 years, has damaged the body frame structure due to overexploitation. These planes have been actively used. In the campaigns, the military has made thousands of sorties, mainly in the Middle East. But the one's Lancer is not suitable for the climate conditions there, according to the commanders. The wear and tear on B-1B Lancer squadrons over the past 25 years, so the maintenance of each one can be costly, $103 USD, 10 million. And that's just the repair cost. For the problems that have been discovered, the planes are no longer effective. We'll help them prioritize investment in the remaining aircraft as well as enhanced training of soldiers even. So B-1B is still considered a very important aircraft, as the scope of deployment of these aircraft is increasingly expansion. The Pentagon recently moved a squadron of Lancers to Norway to once again project power and the willingness to fight Ivory North. America is trying in every way to extend the life of strategic aircraft super sound, because without them, Washington will have no way to deliver bombs and missiles to conflict zones. However, according to military experts, even though it has been upgraded, but B-1B still can't survive in areas with room networks not dense. It only works optimally in threat environments. The average, with the support of fighter jets, and attacked the Allies only between February 2021, the first Lancer took off from an airbase. Al-Swast in South Dakota to fly to the airplane cemetery at David Morton Air Force Base by Arizona. By the end of this year, it's expected that there will be 17 Bs and Bs. It will be shut down by the U.S. After scrapping some of the planes, then the U.S. Air Force will redirect the cash flow to Cho-45, the remaining strategic aircraft. The last one will be decommissioned in 2036. But with the climate conditions in Arizona, dry temperature and low humidity will make the B-1B Lancer rusts and degrades more slowly. Moreover, SA Desert provides a large amount of space at an affordable price. That means the U.S. military will save a lot of money. These planes will be refueled. Then the oil is pumped through the engine for preservation. They have to make sure that all entrances to the plane are sealed to avoid dirt and wildlife. A white coating will be sprayed to reflect the heat. Protect all property inside the aircraft. Under such storage conditions, there is no need for the United States seems to be able to launch a revival program for Lancer back-to-back to continue to engage in cross-border missions at any time. Even so, the marginal decision, it's one of the most powerful American bombers. That's a bad sign for the Pentagon's adversaries. This video is part of the proof that Washington is about to get its bombers. Much more powerful current contractor Northrop Grumman are producing new generation bombers, B-2 Rider FAD, to replace the B-planes with a balancer. It didn't reveal when the bombers were. This is the first test flight, but the U.S. Air Force is expected to add them in Phase 2, 025 to 2027. According to rumors, the B-2 is a new generation. Rider can do more things, instead of just dropping bombs. There's a theory for this plane. Will be upgraded to be able to drop mines when the wars take place. When launched at an altitude of 10 kilometers, they can glide up to 64 kilometers, down into the ocean and then puncture enemy ship bombs without any obstacles. What if B-2 fads to become a stealth bomber? Then it can go to places where the machines, another flight is impossible. To disarm and then destroy the enemy's naval forces, it can disable ports. Forcing the nests, the enemy must travel a longer distance, or even freeze some of our offshore routes. Force the opponent to move according to the route in which the U.S. military prepared a thorough ambush, the ability to reach enemy territory without being detected. It will become an essential asset in any conflict in the future. So with the rapid acceleration of production, along with the technological superiority, then B-2 Rider seems destined to be the successor of B-A. B Lancer is a lover of military technology. So what makes you feel? The biggest regret about B-1B? Share your feelings down below. Comment section. Let everyone know. Don't forget to press the subscribe button and the notification bell, not to miss the journey. Interesting? Hello.